All right. Good morning, everyone.
There you are,
I
Stacy.
see people rolling in
Good
already.
morning, Stacy. Good morning.
Morning, Stacy.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I don't know about you guys, but it's really chilly here today. I'm anxious to get moving and get warmed up a bit.
Here too.
Yeah, the temperature really dropped and it's windy and the sun's out, but it's deceptive. You know, it looks like it's great outside, but it's really cold. I'm not happy with cold weather. We are up to 23 already in with us this morning, and people keep coming in. 24, this is great. I'm so happy to see everybody. Familiar faces, some of you have been with me from the very beginning, and some new faces. Welcome. Welcome to all you newbies. So happy to see you this morning. You're going to love this class. This is a really fun class. Lots of different options.
Do we need a chair today, Stacy?
You will need a chair. We're going to need the chair just in case you need some support during balance. We will have some exercises actually using the chair where we hold on and do some leg lifts. And then we will also be using the chair for some of our stretching exercises. We are up to 30 people already. 31, and they keep coming. How wonderful. So good to see everybody. Awake early and ready to get moving and start your day strong. Okay, up to 35. I'm going to go ahead now while some people, I guess, are still coming in, and I'm going to share my screen, my introductory get set up screen so that we can get started. And just so everybody knows, we have a support person from Get Set Up who is with us today, and his name is Max. Max is available if you need any type of technical assistance or if you have questions. You can reach out to Max in the chat anytime during class if you have questions about your sound or about your video, or even something that you want Max to pass along to me. Because remember, during class, I'm across the room. I cannot read the chat live during class, but I do read the transcript of the chat after class. So you can send me messages that way. Just know that I'll get them later and I can't respond during class. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Yesterday it was really, really slow. So let's see if it's a little bit better today. Much better today. I don't know what was wrong with this yesterday. There we go. Great. So good morning, everybody.
Good
Once
morning.
again, today's class is balance and flexibility. So we are going to be working on improving our balance so that we don't have an accident and fall. I'm your guide at Get Set Up. My name is Stacy, if you haven't met me before. I'm from the Keystone State of Pennsylvania. And I have a master's degree in counseling psychology, and I've been teaching fitness since the mid-1980s. And I have been a personal trainer, a group fitness instructor, I've been a club manager, and I have owned a fitness center all during that brief period of time. And then I extended that and continued to work mainly with people individually in personal training and some intermittent group fitness classes throughout years since then. But I absolutely love talking with people about health and fitness. I love counseling them about getting healthier and ways that they can get stronger and support their balance. And I love connecting with other adults who are interested in improving health and fitness and their overall wellness. Get Set Up is a training and educational platform that helps you learn useful skills from people just like yourselves so that you can continue to do these wonderful things, that you can challenge yourself, you can participate in sports, you can keep up with grandkids and friends without losing any of your energy and strength. You can request a recording after class by emailing help@getsetup.io. And if you're joining by the live stream on our website, we welcome you, and just know that the best way to participate is to join us and register for a class. Get Set Up is not paid to promote any specific products or services that I might talk about, demonstrate, or discuss during my class. Be sure to check with your doctor prior to starting any new exercise program, especially if you have any health conditions or take any medications, or if you're recovering from surgery or any other type of maybe an accident or injury. And finally, if your doctor has given you some specific recommendations, limitations, or restrictions regarding exercise intensity or range of motion, please follow your doctor's recommendations, anything that I demonstrate or talk about during my class. I'm going to stop my screen share, and I'm going to go ahead and spotlight myself so that we can get started. And hopefully you'll be able to see me. Just adjust here. Looks like I'm just testing to make sure that I'm within the camera. I think I am. I'm going to go ahead and start some sound to keep me on track. All right. So again, today's class is for balance and flexibility. I have my chair here handy because we will be using it for some exercises, but it's also optional for you as we're doing some of the cardio portions of this class and testing our balance with slow, controlled movements. If you feel unstable, please be sure that you are holding on to your chair, the wall, a counter, or something that you have handy to hold on to. This class is not about falling, it's about improving your balance. So one of the ways that we do that, go ahead and start with your marching as I'm continuing to talk so that you can get the benefit of some moving. So we're just taking a gentle walk or a march in place, and I'm going to alternate that with a step touch right here. But one of the things that we do to challenge our balance is that we keep our movements slow and controlled. So in a normal cardio class, we're moving pretty quickly, and that momentum keeps us in balance. But the real test is, can you do these movements slowly and control from your core through your hips, your quadriceps, and even your arms and shoulders? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a slow open, and then 4 marches right here up to speed. So to the right, to the left, and right, left, 2 more, right, left. And here it's slowly, and march it out right here for me. Open slowly, and march right here. Now this is just a warm up, but it is kind of an example of what we're going to be doing in this class. So slowly, and march it out for 4 right here. Open slowly, and let's march. And now we have to take it to the other side. Open slowly, and march right here. So you have to really use these muscles through your hips and your abdominals to control this movement. March right here. And I have my knees slightly bent as I open right here and march. right here, and a march. Last time, and march. And let's just hold our march right here, and we're gonna go forward and back. So marching forward for 4 steps, and back for 4. Take it up for 4, and back 4 steps. Moving forward, and we're kind of slow. We definitely move faster in the cardio class, but we are in control. Remember, as you're exercising with me today, to keep your diaphragm lifted. Feel that space between your lower ribs and the top of your hip bones. So if you can feel that space, it means you're lifted and you're holding your core tightly. Be sure that you're breathing at a normal rate and rhythm, and have some water handy so that you can take a break and drink some water as you need to. Coming back into the march, let's move on to step touch. Again, we're taking this nice and slow. Step touch. If you're able to bend your knees and take this into just a tiny little bit of a knee bend as you go side to side, then you're accessing the muscles in your quadriceps, your hamstrings, and your hips. Important areas to strengthen for balance. Let's march again right here in place. And take it forward and back. 4 steps forward and 4 steps back. 4 steps forward, 4 steps back. One more time, forward and back, and then we're going to do those slow step touches. Right here. Step, step, step. Step touch. March forward and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and back. We're doing this 4 times forward and back. So that's our second time right there. So 2 more. Forward for 4 steps and back for 4 steps. Last one. And then slow step touches right here. Let's add these arms. Keeping it slow. 4 more right and left. Two more right and left. And here's the last one. March in place. And we're going to take our wide march, nice and slow, to the right, left, and march right here. Again, we're doing 8 of these on this side. Open, open. Take it a wide step. This is the 4th one. And 3 more. Nice and slow. Feel that control through your hips. Right here. And march. 2 more. And march. Last one. And then we're going to go forward 4 steps and back. And back it up. And forward. And back. One more time, forward and back. March in place, 4, 3, 2. Let's take those big steps side to side, step touch. And hold as you take that little bit of a knee bend on each side. You're holding that. Feeling your body tighten so that you have good balance and control. And here comes the last one to the right and the left. March in place. Slowly apart together, starting with the other side. Open, open, and march. So if you were doing the right side before, now you're doing the left. Open, wide, and march in place. Right here, and march. Two more. Here's the last one. March in place. We're going to go forward and back and then take our big step touches. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and back. Here's the last one. And step touches, other side first. Right here. Nice and slow. And we're doing 8 sets to the right or to the left and the right. We have 4 more to go. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. And I want you to march in place. We're going to begin to take our feet forward and back with our march. So that looks like this, starting to open your feet with 1 in the front and 1 in the back. Now they're not directly lined up this way, but keep them about a hip width apart. So your right foot is forward and your left foot is back. And this is just a very gentle rocking motion, but we're going to make it bigger. So we're going to reach forward and up and back, reach down. Forward and up, back and down. As you go through that center position, you might take a slight bend to the knees. Your knees are your shock absorbers. So you want to be able to bend them at least gently as you're, walking, marching, doing various movements. They do strength around the muscles that surround the knees help with balance. Reaching forward and back. Now we're going to go forward and hold. Hold right here. So my back heel is lifted. I'm balancing on the front foot. And now I'm going to go back and hold right here. Now my front foot is lifted, or the heel is lifted, and I'm balancing with my toes. But if you want to challenge yourself, can you lift that back foot just slightly off the floor? What does that feel like for you? Have your chair handy if you need to hold on. And go back through the center position, and can you lift that front foot just slightly? So this is a balance challenge. Through the center position and up to the front, holding right here, and back through to the back. Forward, can you lift your foot? Back, can you lift your foot? Forward, lift, back, and lift. Now I want you to go forward and hold in the center. So both knees are just ever so slightly bent. Feet are apart. One is forward, one is back. And we're going to do some reaches to the face of a clock. So here's 12 o'clock. Reach both arms up. 1 o'clock. 2 o'clock. Each time bringing your arms into your chest. 3 o'clock. Torso faces forward, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, reach down for 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10, 11, and 12. Release. Let's alternate our legs now. The other leg forward, and the leg that you just had forward is now the back leg. And let's just do some rocking, very gentle, forward and back. Remember to keep this space between your legs so they're not lined up like this, which makes you quite a bit more unsteady, but rather you have space between the width of your feet as one is forward and one is back. So we're just doing this gentle rocking motion. Work to keep your toes facing forward. Go through a slightly bent knee position in the middle. And on the next one, I want you to hold. Hold right here with the toes just tapping on the floor behind you. Toe touch, holding your balance right here. Bend and go through center. Keep the toes right here, holding your balance. If your chair is handy and you need it, use that. One more time, forward. Keep that toe to the floor for balance. Back through center, reaching toward the back, front foot is extended, holding the chair for balance, toes touching the floor for balance. Now we're going to try the lift. As you go forward, can you lift that foot slightly? Back, lift that foot slightly. Forward, very gentle, slight lift, and back with the lift, or don't lift if you're not comfortable with that. You stay where you are. Remember, the chair is right here for support. Reaching forward, lift if you can. And to the back, lift if you can. Forward, hold and lift. Back, lift right here if you can. One more time, forward, and then come back and find that center spot. And we're gonna do those clock reaches, and we're gonna go the opposite way this time. So reaching up toward 12, and let's go to 11. Bring your arms into your chest, reach for 10. Into the chest and reach for 9. And in, reach 8. In, where's 7? Bring it in, take it down to 6. Into the chest, reach for 5. In, reach for 4. In, reach for 3. Into the chest, reach for 2. Bring in the arms in, reach for 1. In and up, release, and march it out right here. Great job. Let's do just a little bit of leg work. So we're going to take our chair and we're going to be facing the chair at this point. And the first thing that we're going to do is some squats facing the chair. So we're going to step out so that our arms reach the chair, facing your toes toward the chair, and your feet are about a hip width apart. We're going to reach back with the tailbone as if we were sitting down, and then bring our legs back to the fully extended position, and we're nice and tall. Reach back and back up to standing. Squat back. Tailbone reaches out behind as if you're sitting, and then back up to the standing position right here, nice and tall. Chest lifted. Reach back and down, coming back up. Now the chair is here, but if you can challenge yourself by reaching your arms forward as you take that squat position. And remember, the squat is at your own depth. So if you're comfortable right here, and that's what your knees and hips allow for you to do today, you stay right where you are. Back and up. Squat back. Use the chair if you need to, and return. Let's just do 2 more. Taking it back and up. Back and up. Now we're going to do some leg lifts. So coming into the chair so you have a comfortable reach, bringing your feet in just underneath your hips. And we're going to start, I'll start with the leg that's facing you, and I'm going to just take it back to a toe tap. I want to focus on keeping the rest of my body stationary. And I'll just use one hand here on the chair for support as I reach back with that toe and come right back into standing. So focus on the standing leg, the foundation leg. Don't sink into that hip as you do this, but keep nice and tall with a goal of not moving anything except this leg. Operating from the hip, feeling that muscle tightening right through the whole hip area and into the lower back. Stretch your leg back and bring it back in together. It's just a toe tap right here, not much of a movement at all. Toe and in, let's just do 2 more. And in and back and in. Now extending the leg back so the toe is on the floor. We're gonna just do a slight leg lift right here. With a straight and extended leg, feeling nice and tall on the supporting leg, keeping the torso upright, chest lifted, breathing through the diaphragm and feeling that space between the hips and the ribs. Very small lift with this leg. And I'm doing my best to keep the leg directly behind me, not like out to the side or on the diagonal, but straight behind me. I'm lifting the heel up toward the ceiling. Lifting. 4 more. And 3. 2 more. Last one, and I want you to hold it here and bring your knee into the chair and extend. Knee in, passing the other leg in toward the chair and extend it behind you. Knee in and back. Knee in and back. 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. And return. Let's do those 3 exercises now with the other leg. I'm going to move my chair around so that you can continue to see my position. So here I am facing the chair. I start with my feet underneath my hips, my hands, my arms extended. And all I'm going to do is lift through my torso, keeping my body upright as I extend this leg to the toe, reaching behind me and bringing it back in together with my other leg. So reaching out and back to a toe tap and then back in, feet together. Reach out and in, sliding it on the floor. Test your balance if you're comfortable with that, or just hold on to the chair and really focus on those hips. Back and in, 4 more, and in, 3 more, nice and tall, 2 more, and here's the last one. And now we're going to take our foot out to where the toe is just touching the floor and just do some tiny little lifts. Just 8 tiny little lifts right here, feeling that in through your hip muscles. And 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, and last one. And from the lifted position now, bend your knee, bringing it into the chair and extend. Bending the knee in and extend. Be sure to keep your torso lifted. This is number 3. And we have 4 more. And 3 more. 2 more. Last one right here. And release. Now, while we're here facing the chair, let's work our calves just a little bit. So with your feet about a shoulder width apart, I just want you to do a heel lift. I'm gonna move back a little bit so you can see my feet. I think my feet are in the camera, in the range of the camera if I'm right here. And all I'm doing is lifting my heels. My knees are extended. My torso is upright. And I'm just working on the calves with a slight heel raise. It doesn't have to be very far. Whatever you're comfortable with. And let's just do 4 more. And 3 more. And 2 more. Last one, and I want you to hold it. Can you hold in that heel lifted position? This is a balance challenge without even letting go. Holding right there, and then release and bring it back down. And right away, we're going to do some calf stretches. So taking 1 foot at a time, toes against the chair leg, heel down, and extend the standing leg. So you're moving your body in toward the chair. Feel that stretch up the back of the leg, the back of your calf of this leg that is working against the leg of the chair. And let's release and do that with the other leg. So heel down in front of the chair leg, toes resting against the chair leg, and then extend the standing leg. So you're bringing your body in closer toward the chair. And the closer you lean in toward the chair, the more you feel that stretch in your calf muscle. And release. All right, let's go back to some movement now. Remember to keep the chair there handy if you need it for support, but we're going to do just a little bit more movement and some brain activity and some more balance stretches. So let's start with 2 steps to the right and left. 2 steps to the right and left. 2 steps, 2 steps. This is pretty easy, right? 2 steps to the right and left. What if we did it really slowly? Let's slow it down. Step together, step together, step together, step together. Up to speed. 1 more time to the right and left. And then let's slow it down. Step together, step together, other way, together, step together. 2 sets, right and left, up to speed. And this is the last one. And now I want you to take this leg and cross behind like a curtsy. And then the other leg, cross behind and back over. Step together and let's reach, cross behind with your leg, cross behind with your other leg, 2 steps back to the right. I start with the leg in the direction I was moving. So I start with my, it would be your right leg, cross behind with a gentle little bend to the knees, cross behind, and let's go this way. Starting now with this leg, step behind and step behind. If you don't want to bend your knees, maybe you've had enough knee bend up to this point, keep your legs relatively straight and just tap behind right here, tap behind right here. Let's take it to the other side, 2 steps, tap behind right here, tap behind right here. 2 steps, tap behind. If you're adding that bend, there it is, right there. Challenges your balance a little bit. 2 steps to this side, tap behind, and let's go this way. Step and tap behind. Last time. Tap behind right here Tap behind right here and march in place. Bring it back to the middle. Let's go forward and back like we did in the beginning. 4 steps to the front and 4 steps to the back. Let's just do 4 of these. Here's the last one. And we're going to take a side step squat back together right here. Now I didn't bend my knees that time because I'm showing you that you don't have to. It's just a step open and back together, step side and back together. But if you want to add the squat, just give a gentle bend to the knees, challenge your balance right here. It's nice and slow. Step side, back together, step side, back together. One more time, and then we're going to do 4 steps forward and back. Here we go. 4 steps forward, 4 steps back. And we do this 4 times, forward and back 4 times. One more. I hope I'm counting right today. I apologize if I'm not. And here we go to our step side squat, step side squat, step side squat. Let's do 2 more sets, right and left. Here we go to the right. And last set. And let's do our 2 steps to the side with those curtsy squats. Remember what that looks like? 2 steps over right here, step behind, step behind. 2 steps to the other side, step behind, step behind. 2 steps, step behind, step behind. 2 steps, step behind, step behind. 2 steps, and step right here. Remember, you don't have to take much of a bend. And 2 steps right here, step behind. And this is the last one. We're going to march back to the center position and get ready for our forward and back. So here we go. 4 steps forward, 4 steps back. And we're doing that 4 times. 2 more. Forward and back. Forward and back, step, side, squat or not, right? That's what we'll call this, squat or not. We're doing 4 sets to the right and the left. And you find whatever knee bend works for you this morning. And this is the last one. And we're going to step 4 steps forward and back. And back. 4 sets forward and back. And then we'll do our step side squat or not. I like that. Back. 2 more. And back. Here's the last one. Step side squat or not. Right here. Back together, right here, back together. Last set. And right here. And just march in place. We're going to do 1 brain exercise before we go into our stretching. I did this a couple weeks ago, but haven't really revisited it since then. But what we're going to do is we're going to start on one side, whichever side is comfortable for you. I'm going to demonstrate. It'll be your right hand side. And we're going to tap one shoulder and the opposite hip. And I call this movement seat belt because it's like the way a seat belt would cross your body. So seat belt and then 2 taps on the tummy. Try that with me. Seat belt, tummy, tap. Seat belt, tummy, tap. And then we're going to add a hip, shoulder, high 5. So it's 8 counts, it's 8 taps, and it makes you use your brain with these cross body movements. So here we go. Seat belt, tummy tap, hip, hip, shoulder high five. Seat belt, tummy tap, hip, hip, shoulder high five. Same arm, seat belt, tummy tap, hip, hip, shoulder high five. And I'm marching along with it so that I have a little bit of movement to go with it. Imagine if you were marching in the band and you're like the majorette, you're gonna do these kind of movements, right? So seat belt, tummy tap, hip, hip, shoulder high five. Seat belt, tummy tap, hip, hip, shoulder high five. Seat belt, tummy tap, hip, hip, shoulder high five. Last one, seat belt, tummy tap, hip, hip, shoulder high five. Other side. Now we got to use the brain. See if you can translate the movements to your opposite arm. Seat belt, tummy tap, hip, hip, shoulder high five. One more time slowly. Seat belt, tummy tap, hip, hip, shoulder high five. Up to speed. Seat belt, tummy tap, hip, hip, shoulder high five. Keep marching. Seat belt, tummy tap, hip, hip, shoulder high five. Seat belt, tummy tap, hip, hip, shoulder high five. Seat belt, tummy tap, hip, hip, shoulder high five. Woo! Say it along with me. Seat belt, tummy tap, hip, hip, shoulder high five. One more. Seat belt, tummy tap, hip, hip, shoulder high five. Excellent. Yay, we did balance challenge. We did some brain work, and now we're going to finish up with some stretching. Now, today we worked our hips a lot. So I'm going to give you the first hip stretch, which we're going to do standing and holding on to the chair. So let's take that chair, and you're going to face the chair. And what I want you to do, first exercise, first stretch, is stepping back from the chair so that you have to reach the chair. We have our feet about a hip width apart, toes facing forward. We're going to hinge forward from the hips with a flat back and reach out toward the chair. Hold on to the chair just gently, but not hard enough to tip the chair, just kind of using it for balance. So gentle, very gentle hold on the chair, but feel that stretch up the back of your legs. And if you are flexible and your hips will allow you to do this, and you can move your hands down lower on the chair, go a little bit lower without rounding your back. Now, this is a flat back. Make sure you are hinging from the hips because that's how you feel that stretch up through your hamstrings. So just hold on to that wherever you can. And remember that a good stretch is a stretch that you hold steady. We're not bouncing. We're reaching the end of your stretch where your muscles feel, oh, this is as far as I can go. And then just hang out right there and breathe. Breathe into that stretch. And it's time now to release. So we're going to use our hands and press back up into the standing position. And the next one that I want you to do is cross one leg over in front of the other. And we're going to do that same type of hinging forward. With one leg crossed over, you're going to feel a stronger stretch in the front leg. And just hold that stretch. So you reach the end of where your muscles feel like they can't stretch any further, and just hold it and breathe through it. I like a 20 to 30 second hold for a stretch. Just a few more seconds right here. Make sure you're breathing and release, and we're going to cross the other leg over. Adjust if you need more distance from the chair, and let's hinge forward from the hips into that stretch, leaning on the chair, but not so hard that you tip your chair. Be very careful. Feel that stretch up the front leg. You should feel that right up that hamstring, especially behind the knee. I'm adjusting just a little bit. My legs were a little tight together. You may have to adjust to make sure that you can get a good stretch, and we're holding it for 20 to 30 seconds and breathing into our stretch. A few more seconds right here, and then use the chair to release yourselves from the stretch. And now we're going to sit. I'm grabbing my water. And back into the chair. And we're going to do a hip stretch. This is an important stretch for the side of your hips. Let's see, let me make sure that I'm in a good place for you to see me. Here we go. So moving forward into your chair, the very first part of the stretch is that we're just going to cross one foot over. You can't really see my feet, can you? Get all the way back here against the wall. All right, so I've crossed my front leg, the leg toward the camera. I have crossed over top of the other leg, which is extended. My foundation leg has the toes pointing up toward the ceiling. And the leg that I crossed over, I allow to flop to the side so that my knee is facing to the side. And in this position, I'm going to hold on to the chair and hinge forward and feeling that very gentle stretch through my hips. Now we're going to increase this stretch. So this is level 1. Sometimes your hips are very, very tight, and this is where you need to activate the stretch in this low level, level 1 position for this stretch. And this is up through the side of the hip that is crossed over. And let's release that. And now with the lower leg still stretched out in front of you, bring the crossover leg up just above the knee. And again, the leg that's crossed over, the knee is just flopped open to the side in whatever comfortable position you're able to do. And then what I do is I hold on to my shin here, and with the other hand, I hold on to the chair. I sit up nice and tall to start, and I hinge forward from the hips. And I get about this far, and I can feel that stretching through the side of my hip. I feel it already right here, and it's a great stretch to hold. You want to make sure that you are able to stretch and get that stretch through the hips. And if I hold my leg up here on its own, with its own power, I can use both hands and hold on to the seat of the chair and give myself just a little bit more of a hinge forward without falling off my chair. So I'm right here. And then I'm going to release. And now the level 3 for this hip stretch is that I bring this foundation leg underneath. It's now bent, the knee is bent at a 90-degree angle, and the crossover leg is right here in the same position with the ankle just above the knee. And for some people, you may feel the stretch already in this seated position. I feel the stretch sitting right here. If I lift my torso nice and tall, I already feel the tightening through my hip, but I'm going to go ahead and hinge forward just slightly and activate a deeper stretch in through my hip this morning. Not too far forward. I don't have a lot of flexibility in that muscle area, but I want to work it because it's important. So we're just holding that. Remember, holding your stretch. If you do these later in the day, you want to hold them 20 to 30 seconds, just reaching the point where your muscle says, no more, no more. And at that point, just relax and breathe into your stretch. And then release. And let's repeat this series of stretches with the other leg. So taking the leg that we just had on top, the leg we were stretching, and extend it out in front of you with the heel on the floor, toes facing upward, knee facing upward, and take the other leg, which was your foundation leg, and cross it over at the ankle. Allow your knee to open to the side and just sort of flop open where it may. Holding onto the seat of the chair, hinge forward from your hips, going as far as you're able to comfortably without falling off the chair. And feeling that stretch on the outside now of the hip for the leg that is crossed over. I also feel this stretch up the back through the hamstring of the extended leg. I didn't perhaps mention that on the other side, but kind of killing two birds with one stone here as we are stretching both legs, but different muscle groups. And release. Second level for this stretch is with the leg, knee bent further, foot up above the knee on the supporting leg, holding onto the chair. Hold on to your leg if you need to. You can do it this way, hold on to the chair, hold on to the leg and hinge forward. If you can hold the leg up without holding it, you can use both hands to hold on to the seat of the chair as you hinge forward, giving yourself a deeper stretch and feeling it perhaps a little bit stronger through that hip. Breathe through this and release. And then the last one with the bent knee at 90 degrees. Take that other leg, cross it over, allow the knee to go to the side wherever it will, holding on to your shin or to the seat of the chair, and just hinge forward ever so slightly so that you feel that stretch up through the side of your hip. I don't have a lot of stretch here. As I said, this part, my hips are not flexible, and I'm working on that, and hopefully you are too. And maybe you're more flexible. You go to wherever you are feeling that stretch along the side of your hip and hold on to that area. Hold right there into that stretch and just breathe, relax and breathe as you hold that stretch. And we're going to release. That was great. So sitting into the chair, let's do our breathing exercises, finishing up with a positive affirmation as we do our meditations this morning. So we're sitting up in a comfortable position on the chair. If you are able and comfortable to close your eyes and just listen to the sound of my voice, you can do that. If not, find a spot in front of you where you can rest your gaze. Perhaps it is a picture, a painting, a photograph on the wall in front of you, or a clock, or something else that you are able to just relax and rest your gaze. Begin to bring your focus to your breathing. Notice how on your inhale, you fill your lungs from the bottom to the top. And on the exhale, you release that air from the top all the way to the bottom. Notice the natural rhythm and rate of your breathing. And as you are focused on your breathing, I want you to think some of these positive thoughts to yourself. I am a yes person. I say yes to morning fitness. I say yes to working out my body every day. All the changes that I'm making in my body and with my habits are easy for me to make. I just show up and do my best. I am at peace with my body, with my muscles, with my strength, and with my balance. I appreciate my body, all that it is, all that I have, and all that I am. I am patient with my body, and I listen to the messages that it sends me. One of the messages might be that at the end of exercise, you need a deep cleansing breath and a sigh. And yet I'm telling you to breathe naturally and slowly. You have to follow the promptings of your body. So if you are being prompted to take a deep breath, you should take a deep breath. That's what your body needs. And if you're prompted to drink water, please take a rest and drink water. And if you're prompted to take a pause at any time during our exercises, please do that. Take that pause and resume when you feel ready. I'm going to approach the camera screen now so I can share my closing slides. Well, I just happened to see that question. Do I change up the exercises? I would have to say that every class I teach is a little bit different. I follow a format. So I know that on Mondays I teach the core class and it focuses on the core. Tuesday is cardio. Wednesday is seated weight training. Thursday is a combo or a circuit training class. And Friday we focus on balance and flexibility. But I do bring different exercises to each class so that it's always just a little bit different. I hope that answers your question. Let me get to my closing screen here. This is my thank you screen. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. The best way that you can thank myself and other guides here on Get Set Up is by sharing your experience and by referring your friends. And soon I will have a slide that will show you a little bit more about referrals and how to do them, but I haven't added it yet. But meanwhile, share your experience on social media. If you're on social media, you can use the hashtag #GetSetUp. You can use @GetSetUp. And if you're not on social media, feel free to email Liz at getsetup.io, and Liz will pass information along if it's for social media or if it's something that you want me to know. Look for some other related classes in movement and exercise, like the Ageless Grace class, the line dancing classes, and we also have yoga classes now with Christina. Look for those classes. My next class, today was balance and flexibility. That's what we did today. Combo training, as I said, is on Thursday. I think these are the wrong, this is the wrong slide for this class. But anyway, after this class at 9:15, I'm teaching the core training that starts after this one. Be on the lookout for the email that you will receive from Get Set Up. It will contain some key takeaways from today's class, some important information, as well as highlight some additional classes that might be of interest to you. And there will be a link to providing feedback for the class. I do read all the feedback that I receive, so please feel free to leave me notes and information. Please spread the word about learning with Get Set Up. Maybe you would like to host an interest group on something that you're passionate about. Let us know and we'll help you get that set up. Suggest a class that you would like to see, and know that we partner with assisted care, senior living, government, and community organizations. And finally, you can always request a session recording and share your ideas for new classes by emailing help@getsetup.io. And if you are looking for information about the website, you can look for tips and tricks to navigating Get Set Up's new look, which is taught by Marv, one of our guides. Right. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining. It's 9 o'clock. Have a great day, and hopefully I will see you in another class soon.